All right, Brad.
All right, you good?
I'm good. You ready?
It's all you, man.
Rolling back up to the green?
Oh, and I took the beacon off.
Yes, you did.
Might want to give yourself your landing light back, too.
All right, in the green. Engine looks good. Oil, temp, and fuel. On 26, 27.
Ooh.
All right side is clear. Left side is clear.
Yep, make your call.
Frankfurt Capital City, helicopter 725 Alpha, taking off runway 25, departing the area to the east. Frankfurt Capital City. Wow. Pulling quite a bit.
So we just want to make sure we're at the top of the green.
Pedal turn. All right, here we go.
Take your time. We just got to watch those RPMs, all right?
Oh.
We can start climbing a little bit now.
I like that when you can keep it about 24 inches of manifold pressure. That eye out.
Looks like it.
All right.
All right, so we're going 45 miles an hour.
Yeah, we are.
So let's get our RPMs up just a little bit.
Okay. A little bit of airspeed in now. put a little bit of friction on here. Wow, that's really hard to read.
What's that?
All of this. I can't really see it.
Capital City traffic, helicopter Kentucky 5, 10 miles to the west, 2000 inbound for landing. Frankfurt Hospital, Capital City traffic.
I got I-64 up here, I believe.
We gotta be careful with our altitude there.
Okay.
Capital City traffic, helicopter Kentucky 5, 5 miles to the west, inbound for landing. Frankfurt Hospital, Capital City traffic.
How's it feel?
Pretty good right now. You comfortable?
Yep.
Nice night. Found my interstate. Like 70 knots, 69 knots on the ground speed.
So you should be able to shut your landing light off now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because we can't. We're
Sure.
just burning it up. Not as big a deal with the LED.
I just wasn't sure if you prefer to leave it on for just this, for the conspicuousness of it, or.
What, you mean scare the hell out of the traffic?
Yeah.
You're going to be doing that enough.
I'm used to flying with the spotlight on, you know?
Yeah. Well,
No, I mean for other aircraft, though.
nah, not really.
Yeah.
If there's somebody else at this altitude, we're in trouble.
Well, there was the other day, I'll tell you. I had going to Bowman, there was a fixed wing that was underneath me. They were probably doing like 1,500 feet.
Oh, wow.
AGL. They overtook me and scooted out in front of me and then departed to the north. So.
Well, that's not very common. I've never, you know what I mean?
Yep, I had it twice. It was once to Bowman and then coming back from Madison to Frankfurt.
Well, then I better recant.
I you know, I was like, man, I couldn't believe it. So, all right, Brad, I may use you just because this does feel a little bit like my limits as far as just cockpit management, though.
Whenever you want me to take controls, just let me know.
No, I mean the controls are fine, but it may be switching the radio. I'll try it a couple times.
Well, what I'd rather do is I take controls and let you change the radios.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Just so that you get used to, you know, it's not that easy.
No. So I think I could, if I flipped over on the Garmin, I could see my distance from Capital City and to Lexington. You're okay with that?
Whatever it is that you want to do, I got controls.
Got the controls. Okay, I'm back on.
Is that what screen you want? Cool.
Yeah. So now I can tell, you know, Capital City. I could make my last call. Looks like we're close to Lexington, though. So.
Yeah, we're going under the shelf at Lexington. We better.
Frankfurt Capital City, helicopter 725 Alpha, about 8 miles to the east at 2,100, departing to the east, last call, Frankfurt Capital City. Would you call up Lexington then? You want to do that?
As long as we stay under their shelf.
Stay under the shelf.
You know, the one thing I do, the only reason I had it on the other screen is I could see their shelf. I mean, it's where we were at. It's no big deal, though. You know, I just want to make sure we don't get on the surface. But we shouldn't if we stay over 64. Does that make sense?
Yes. But I do need to make sure that I stay under the shelf there, too.
And again, are they going to come here and get us? They see what we're doing, right? You know, I mean, I'm not saying that we don't want to avoid it, but, you know, again, it's... they could probably see us, you know.
You want to switch over to Lexington frequency and monitor, though?
You have it in there?
I don't have it in there.
Well, we're heading on through then. So that'd be a good choice, but I don't want to dink around with it.
Okay.
But it would have been a good call to set up ahead of time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But now it's a little, I mean, obviously I could do it, but at this time, so those are things to really, you know, if you could set up before you take off, especially single pilot.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, you know, kind of have you act like single pilot. I mean, use me if you have to, but do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
To know that, wow, that would have been nice, you know, if you wanted to do that, which is fine, and probably, sometimes I used to call them and just tell them what we were doing as an advisory, like, hey, going under the shelf, but then they gave me a damn squawk code and shit, you know, so I've kind of skipped doing it just because I didn't want the extra hassle of having a squawk code for this little, because he didn't realize I was going under the shelf, because he's like, why the hell are you talking to me?
Yeah, yeah.
Does that make sense? He thought I was going to go up into his airspace.
Yeah. I'm just so used to doing that like I guess because we talked to we'll have Bowman and Stanford Field, you know, so.
Well, it's a good practice. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to tell you, to not do it. But we are under their. We're not in their airspace.
Yeah. All right.
I like my new little toy.
Oh yeah, it's working pretty good.
Yeah, so far. That light ain't bothering you back there, is it?
No, I don't think so. I hadn't even really noticed it.
Yeah, I hadn't either. That's why.
Like what light? The red light? That high plane up there.
I was just looking around. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Wasn't sure if you were like seeing a skid fall off or something.
No. Well, you married?
I am, and I have 3 kids.
Ah, that's a handful. How old are they?
You met them at Bowman.
Oh, I did, didn't I? I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
Man, I just got too many damn irons in the fire. I can't root. I'll never be a good politician. I got to meet people about 6 times before.
Yeah. No, but I've got Hannah is 13, and then Kaylin is 10, and Rebecca is 4.
Got the little one. All right, Rebecca.
Yeah. You?
I got one daughter. She's 23.
Yeah. Wow. Happy Father's Day.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, you too, man. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
My wife actually went to visit her in Baltimore, so.
Oh, wow. She lives in Baltimore?
Yeah. She took a job. She charter pilot with a company that flies some Phenom 300s. So.
Oh, no kidding. Nice. I like those planes.
Yeah. She really likes it.
So.
Sent me a picture of the cockpit one day at 45,000 feet.
Oh, wow, yeah. Don't get that in a helicopter, do you?
No. And then the company, she doesn't get to fly the helicopters, but has 2... Is
it okay to cut the corner here?
Sure.
Close enough?
Yep.
Yeah, but those are really, really nice planes.
Yeah, I mean, some serious money. The company owns 4 of those, and then 2 Bell 407s and a 4 Bell 430.
A Bell 430?
Yeah.
Nice.
But my daughter said just the money, the people that, it's just like a whole other class of people.
Yeah.
Most of them have been pretty nice so far, but...
Sure, yeah. So you get, is it showing like real time?
Yeah,
like where we're
real
at?
time, and looks like we're getting close to 64. We'll see.
Getting close to 64?
Or I mean 71. 75. I'm sorry.
Okay, because I thought this was 75 under us.
Yeah.
Okay. At the tower there.
Yeah, I'm just not used to using this. Looks like it takes a second for it to get updated exactly where we're at.
All right. You take the controls for just a minute. I'm going to switch over to Georgetown and then get my next station set
All
up.
right, I got the controls.
Got them.
God, I love flying these damn helicopters.
All right, yeah, I do too.
You got controls?
I've got the controls, and I've got Georgetown punched in, 123.00, and Santa is 122.8. Just to monitor. And it really is a nice night.
Yeah, very nice.
Little hazy.
Good call on the doors, man.
Yeah. Hey, there's a police car down there. You want to go see what's going on?
If we didn't have such a, you wouldn't have put us on such a tight flight plan.
Dang it. Man, the draw, you have no idea.
Well, if wanted to go see it?
Yeah. Red and blue flashy lights, you know?
There we go. Sorry.
What do you got there?
I put more of the things back on it.
Oh.
So that you can declutter the Garmin.
Yeah.
So like if all of a sudden this was bothering, but we're following the road.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice for you. I mean, it's up to you.
I didn't know that was a feature.
So if you hit the clear button, you can consecutively remove clutter. And so like you might be in a environment where like if you're coming into land, so if you don't want to see all that junk.
Yeah. So is this Georgetown then?
Yep.
And then that's Toyota then?
Yeah. I've done a lot of fixed wing flights.
Uh-oh. You doing corporate espionage?
No, yeah, stupid watch. It worked really well to do traffic patterns around. Practice crabbing into the wind and everything.
Yeah. It's a big area, yeah.
Well, how'd that feel taking off and everything?
It's a little different. I'm not gonna lie. It's
just don't have quite as many reference points and everything.
Yeah. It's not scary, you know, but it's just different. It doesn't. It kind of makes me. It makes you work a little harder, I guess.
You just want to do like you did, be real safe, maybe even give yourself a little bit more height than you normally would.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, you don't want to touch the skids accidentally.
Yeah. You're away from this tower.
And let's get us up another 100 feet or so.
Okay.
I know it's not as easy to see. I'm going to ask Michael when we get there if I can move these pegs around. I'm not sure if we can or not. And I don't want to pull one out while we're flying.
Right. I think there's another tower up here. Two over here.
You know, I mean, if you wanted, we can even climb up a little bit. We don't have to.
If you want to.
It's all up to you, man. But we are not under a shelf. We just got to know that we got to come down.
Right.
Just tell me what altitude you've decided so I kind of know that what you're...
I was just going to shoot for 2,500.
Okay. Just like to know what you're trying to do. Does that make sense?
Yep. One really nice thing about these helicopters too, and like the MD, man, you really can use your cyclic for like your control, your main control. You know, like or like with the Robinson, you know, you push over, you get into the low G, something like that.
Yeah.
Really nice, not having to worry about that as much.
Well, what do you have to worry about in this helicopter that you don't have to in a Robinson?
The ground resonance.
Now, what do we do if we have that, or how do we know if we have it?
If you feel the oscillation from the blades being out of phase, and you lift up, you keep your RPM at the top of the green, and you would take off.
So that's one reason, like when we land, until the collective is all the way down, to actually keep the RPMs in a flight level.
Yep.
And before we replaced the blades and the dampers on this, it was pretty finicky about it. Like I actually touched down one time and had.
And it would happen.
Oh, you know what it was right away. I mean, it was like, I mean, it
uncomfortable, really.
Oh, I mean, there was no question. I mean, and it was, so I will always, I mean, that stuck with me to be like, well, that's why you keep it in the green. Some people roll it off right after they land and stuff, and it's like, that's where you could get in trouble if you don't have the RPMs to take back off.
Yeah.
Have you taken your written yet?
No, I'm going to call them tomorrow to see if I can get it scheduled tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Wednesday.
All right, cool.
So the testing facility there at Bowman, Louisville Aviation, they pretty much do it all the time. So I don't think it'll be too much of a problem to get in there.
Well, that's good.
It's just what day this week I'll be able to,
Yeah, you want to get those boxes checked,
Yep.
Get them out of the way.
And that's what I'm doing. So that's why I really do appreciate you doing this with me too, Brad, because it gives me a little different of a perspective too, flying with somebody different.
Yeah, it's good, bad.
Asking ask the same questions, but just from a different person sometimes is.
Well, and I feel a little bad, like I said, not having you switch over because that was a good call, just since we didn't have the radio frequencies in.
Yeah.
But I think I'll talk to Michael and we'll probably change over to separate VFR flight plans. That way, it also makes it easier because when you start training IFR, that's what you do, each leg. But hopefully I'm not doing anything too much different than Michael.
You're not? No. And you're making me feel good by putting your hands on your knees.
No, you've done a good job. I mean, a couple times, like when we took off there, I just had to, we got a little high RPM, but...
Which that's something different too, is seeing, because the green's doesn't show up real well. I know where it's at, but
at the end of the day, you got to hear it in these things.
Yeah,
and really it'll be the same. I mean, your MD will have a governor, but...
Yeah, but it still has a real distinctive, sound to it for when you're getting the RPMs high or low, but you're not managing the throttle regularly. That you're only hearing that when you're doing autos,
Yep.
So.
And you do have you got Bose there. Those are pretty nice for you.
Oh yeah, with the noise canceling. Yeah.
And it really makes a difference in the auto.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we didn't have the doors at 94 knots. Doors come off in this thing.
At 94?
That's the VNE with the doors on. I think I'll have to look now. It's been a little while. There's it might be 90 with the doors off. I can't remember.
Yeah. Quite a few towers along the interstate here.
Yeah.
Boy, those are bright.
Yeah.
And I let us climb a little bit.
So how long you been a police officer?
Since 2008 is when I joined, so I'm right at 10 years.
That's cool. Is it a 20-year type career, or can you do it longer? Or?
It used to be 20 years, and then you could retire out. When I came in, they extended it to 25 for the Tier 2. And now, if you're in Tier 3, I think it's 4 or 5 years you're vested into your 401k, IRA, or whatever they call it. But with that, there's no real strings attached. Once you get vested in that, if you wanted to roll somewhere else, you could take it with you. No.
So that's the primary retirement anymore?
That's the primary for our department anymore now, is that 401k Roth IRA thing or whatever.
So they kind of switched to like a private company type scenario.
Yeah, it's not a private company per se, but
I meant the type retirement.
It is. It models after that, yeah. So it sounds like it's pretty poo-poo really, but...
Well, I mean, one nice thing would be if you said, hey, I want to go from Louisville to Indianapolis or something.
Yeah.
You know, you're not like, I'm screwed. I'm handcuffed here.
Yeah, and it depends on what Indianapolis has, you know. I mean, they may still be in a state pension program. If that's the case, then, I mean, you can take that money and you just put it in your private investment firm or something like that. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll see what happens here. Now that Brashear has got a lawsuit for the pension stuff going on anyway, so. So like we had talked about with Lexington, when we get to Walton, we'll be under the Class Bravo shelf, but we won't be in the Class Bravo airspace per se. But do you still talk to Class Bravo?
I wouldn't, because really they don't want to deal with you.
Okay.
I mean, if you're not in their airspace,
then don't bother with it.
You know, that's my take on it. Because like I said, when I have called Lexington just to, like, hey, as a courtesy, they gave me transponder codes and then I had to cancel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They didn't really grasp why I'm talking to them if I'm not in their airspace.
You know, and that's the other thing. I didn't mention it to you when you were talking about that, but see, with the police department, we have our own individual squawk code that we keep in the entire time. And, you know, Stanford and Bowman, they both recognize that as our squawk code, you know. So.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the medevacs and stuff have that too. You
right,
know,
exactly.
Coming in and out all the time.
And so they'll call as, you know, Kentucky 11 or Kentucky 8. Their transponder is reflecting that, you know. So we're getting ready to come into it then, huh?
Yeah, and this first one's at 4,000, but...
Yeah. next one is
3500.
3500. And then once we get to Walton, we'll do direct to in the GPS and just fly direct to. So Brad, what do you do for a living?
That's a good question. I
have a good answer.
I was an auditor / consultant, and then I developed some software that I use.
Okay.
So now I'm a part owner in the software, so I sold it to a bigger company, but I still help out with that, but I still do a little bit of auditing and consulting. So I got kind of a flexible schedule. So I got 2 pieces of software that I'm a part owner in, and then do some consulting for banks and stuff. So.
Oh, cool.
But at one point I had 26 clients on the consulting side. Now I'm down to about 9. So I just kind of let them die on the vine, if that makes sense. They'd merge or cancel or whatever, and I just haven't been hunting for more. I don't really like doing it, but it's actually pays pretty well. I think I'm going to probably keep like 10 clients for a long time, because it's when I go do the work, I'm there, but when I'm done, like this week I got 4 days up at a bank, but then I'm done. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nobody's saying, hey, what the hell are you doing today?
Yeah.
But at one point with the 26, I was just fucking burned out, man.
Yeah.
I got where I hated it. All right, so we're coming into that shelf.
All right.
So you could probably start getting a little closer, or just decide what you're going to do.
Yeah, I'll probably just go take it back down to about 2,000.
Because our real concern is we got to be at 2,000 when we go past that wall.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep. I'm just going to go ahead and start descending.
Well, you feel like you got pretty good control of the bird.
I think I'm fairly comfortable with the way that it works, as far as, just wanting to fly it. You don't have to constantly be jockeying with it, like you're riding a horse or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Turn our landing light on.
All right.
I don't know where that guy is, but
I do see him.
well, we go to the right a little bit, because a lot of times if somebody is following the road, I can't quite tell what he's doing. People follow generally on the right, like a fixed wing would.
Yep, and I've got 2 towers here, so.
I think he's just crossing. I couldn't quite tell.
That's okay.
So you can shut that landing light off again.
I just kind of steer back towards the road.
Yeah, again, the main reason that we're over the road is if we needed to auto.
Yep.
And I really don't ever want to do it, because my main concern would be a fucking car hitting us.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
The auto would kill us, the car would.
I don't know.
You know?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're not expecting something.
No, they're not thinking something's going to come out of the sky. cylinder head temp okay?
Yeah.
Looks like.
Pretty warm, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it affects it, completely, but, we're asking it to work pretty hard. You know what I mean, at 65, 70 knots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're never really going to use this bird to get from point A to point B very fast.
Yeah.
But good job staying away from towers and everything.
I don't like them. I don't think they like us either.
Flew over a barbecue joint one time.
Yeah, it just smelled the smoky smell there.
Yeah. Now I'll take the controls.
Okay.
You could
can
get your
controls.
your Garmin set up.
Okay. Got the controls?
Yeah. And also, get your frequencies and stuff in there so that.
Alright, tower and ATIS is in. And the direct 2 is set. Looks like steer.
Well, we don't have to steer to it quite yet, but I was just saying the idea letting you get your stuff ahead of time rather than wait until you needed to turn. Because now you could just hit the direct 2 again. Does that make sense? Like when you get to your point.
Oh, you can hit direct 2 and then it'll change it?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're basically home on in.
Nice. Okay. Want me to take it back?
Yeah. You got controls?
I have the controls.
You got controls.
I've got the controls.
I'm just one of these, I like to, get it ahead of time.
Yep. one of the guys, you said your daughter, the company that she works for, they have a Bell 430.
Yeah.
One of our officers that just retired from the air unit, he works for Honecker Air, which
okay.
Papa John's, his helicopter is based out of Honecker.
Yeah.
Over in Clark County. And they have a 429. Has the, retractable gear and everything. Those seats in there are amazing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the difference of 429, 430 is. Probably not much.
There's probably not much. It's probably capacity, really. But
yeah, it was kind of funny. The Honecker guy just never returned my daughter's call. Or no, he just, they had job openings, but when she called, they was like, no jobs.
Huh.
So it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But the Baltimore job, man, the people are real nice. She's only been there a couple of months. But they treat them nice. They put them up in nice hotels.
Yeah, that's good.
They're home almost each trip. But, so it's 8 on, 4 off, but, she's home most of the time. Now, she said, like, one day, the guy wanted to be picked up in Dallas at 8 in the morning. So she's like, that was a long day. Took off at Baltimore, flew to Dallas, pick him up at 8 in the morning, to fly back. But no, she's enjoyed it pretty good so far.
I do have another friend, Wayne. He works for the FAA, actually, but he is doing, and I can't remember the exact title of his position, but right now he's out working with Citation. They're coming out with a new line, the Latitude.
Oh, okay.
And so he's not in an orange jumpsuit, but he's that next step from an orange jumpsuit. So when they go through and they start certificating the aircraft and issuing what type rating you need for it, he and the other pilot that fly it, they rate each other so that they can start signing people off on it. So there's he's one of the first people to get rated in it.
Well, this looks like this is pretty much that Walton.
Walton, yeah. So hit direct 2.
Yep. And then hit enter.
Did I do it wrong?
I guess it just took a second. Sorry.
Okay. So you want to go away from the interstate now?
Yep.
All right. Here we go.